Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Thursday, February 15th, 2024. In the news today, we're hearing that Iran has claimed Antarctica as their territory and plan to do a scientific and military base there. And I decided to do a little looking because the more I read, the more this isn't really new information. But for some reason, it's making itself known now. Let's go to my compilation. I'll show you some articles I've got and items. They're by no means all the information that's out there. If what I have compiled interests you, you can click on the Facebook link that'll be in the video description box and check it out yourself. Okay, 1 second, I'm going to go to a share screen and we can see what I've got for you so far. As you can see, there are a number of countries that do have scientific outposts in the region of Antarctica. Now, this is, of course, assuming that a globe map perspective where it's one continent. The flat Earth, dome Earth people believe that the Antarctica actually encircles all the known world. It's an ice wall, an ice shelf, more than an ice shelf that goes all the way around the Earth. Doesn't matter what your worldview is, let's look at what's happening with it in the news, okay? The Britannica had a nice article kind of explaining the continent or the region known as Antarctica with the history, talking a little bit about how back in the 1950s, the Antarctic Treaty was signed. It was updated as with the Madrid Protocol in 1991, but basically all of these countries agreed that this was a reserve and that only scientific type of activity could go on there. Now, if you've been following alt media news anytime at all, Antarctica does come up, and it doesn't come up necessarily in conjunction with scientific experiments. There's talk that there's portals down there, that there are stargates, that there's more going on down there than meets the eye. And I found a couple places where you can read a little more about that. Now, today's news, Gateway Pundit actually did a fairly nice article and mentioned that in a broadcast last fall, the Iranian Navy commander claimed that they had property rights at the South Pole and they're going to raise their flag and carry out military and scientific work. So this was last fall. And now, 5 months later, it's just starting to get in the news. Makes you wonder what's going on. Okay, or it did me, maybe you. Then, so you can read an article, and the mainstream outlets are carrying it too. Now, there were a couple of anon community chatters that I thought was worth sharing. One anon commented, "This announcement, in my opinion, is a push to get people asking what is in Antarctica. The question has already been on the minds of anons due to our politicians like Kerry running down there and the Nazis going there, but to normies, they've never given it a thought. Time for them to wake up and start asking questions." Another commenter said, just last week, a Norwegian cruise was rerouted to bypass Antarctica, and it was the main event. People paid a lot of money to go there, and they changed it on them after they boarded, making a lot of pissed off travelers. Maybe something's going on. Now, if you'd like to read more about that Antarctic Treaty and how it was decided that the entire continent wouldn't be carved up, but simply kept as a reserve for scientific study, you can read it here. And then we get into a couple of interesting things. If you would like, okay, here is from exopolitics.org. Okay, this is back from 2019. Navy insiders corroborate secret Antarctic space fleet and mission to, I can't pronounce that, Umamua. You might want to read that. And if you'd like to read, this is I was hoping they'd allow this one. Oh, they're not. Okay. Facebook is not letting this link show up. It takes you to Operation High Jump with Admiral Byrd, and it's a Russian documentary that's kind of hard to find on the internet. So I was hoping I could get away with showing you a link with it here in Facebook. That's why I do Facebook compilations. But apparently it's not going to let you do it. Now, if you're interested in what I found, you could stop the video. You can cut and paste this link that isn't posting and find it possibly that way. Might be worth a try. It was interesting. It's a 42-minute. It is subtitled because it's in Russian, but it's an interesting documentary about what's going on or has gone on down in Antarctica. So it made the news today that Iran plans to build a base in Antarctica and is claiming territory there. And their stated intention for the base is not just scientific, but military in nature. And that's the element of their claim that violates other countries' agreed treaty signing. So what's going on? This was actually announced months ago, and it's just now making the news today. So we'd like insights and information from the universe about why we apparently are being asked to have eyes on Antarctica at this time, on this timeline, in this place. I'd like this information to be free from any obscuring or veiling attempts on it, because I believe there are some. So let's see, free from veiling or what would have been reported to us prior to any veiling attempts. Let's see what the universe wants us to know about why apparently the collective consciousness is being asked to keep Antarctica in their thoughts at this time. I'm going to change the camera view, let you watch me finish shuffling the cards, and we'll see what the universe wants us to know. Okay, what's going on with Antarctica? Why are we being asked, the collective consciousness, to have it in our thoughts right now? Eyes on what's going on that we need to know, insights and information about Antarctica, and insights and information relevant to this timeline, and information free of any obscuring or veiling. Okay, we have the Three of Wands. We have the Ten of Wands, Ten of Cups, Eight of Cups, Six of Swords, the Emperor, and the Five of Pentacles. I was grinning because there's snow in this one, and there's a lot of snow in Antarctica. The average temperature there, I believe, is -50 for quite a bit of the year. And I've been in -50, and it is extremely cold. At -30, jet fuel starts to freeze, stove oil freezes. It gets really problematic to operate at those kind of temps. Okay, so our question was, we'd like insights and information about Antarctica and why, even though it's been several months since Iran stated an interest and made a claim, it's only getting into the news now today. We are supposed to keep some eyes on it, and that's kind of interesting that it's indicated by the Three of Wands here, looking out over some, with a new path going on. And then the Ten of Wands telling me that something is kind of coming to a conclusion down there. Now, whether it's a cleanup or a Space Force program or something like that, I don't see any information yet telling me exactly what, but there's something that is wrapping up down there and they want our eyes on it. Whatever it is, it's not something that we need to be fearful about. The Ten of Cups is a celebration, and all ages and stages of life are celebrating in this card. So something in the recent past concluded. Now, whether it was closing off some negative portals, I kind of think that that may be part of what's going on. So it's more positive down there. I'm not seeing that there's going to really be any success on the part of Iran to complete their stated objective of a military base on Antarctica. I just, they've only had bases on places where they had to worry about extremely hot temperatures. They're in for some unforeseen challenges, even if they attempt this, and it won't happen fast, whatever does. And there's events happening in the world that are happening in the interim that are just going to kind of make this kind of a non-issue. But again, our attention is supposed to be focused on Antarctica. It is relevant to us. Okay, there's a reason we have politicians going down there. Okay, it really is. So in the current, we've got the Eight of Cups here. That's when you turn around and look for something kind of missing. There's a missing element, even though you have so much, there's a missing element. You take a little time apart with this card to kind of connect the dots and make those missing pieces make sense, or bring them back into the fold. Again, with the recent past showing the 10 of Cups, such a happy family kind of, and I'm thinking of the humanity family here type of celebration going on. And in the near future, we have the 6 of Swords. So what I'm thinking is, like I said, very strongly, that something has concluded down there and the territory is much more human centric and human beneficial to humans going on there. We've got the Emperor showing up, ultimate human element of the white hats. So there's been a white hat thing that has definitely kind of concluded here. And the Iran's little claim is just to get eyes on it and kind of start people, the collective consciousness, thinking about it, thinking about the possibility of military action down there or counter maneuvers, that kind of thing. The 5 of Pentacles shows us here, and with this card, people are deliberately and willingly bypassing some supports because of their personal convictions or what have you. So yeah, that's interesting. Let's get a couple more cards because it's a complex issue. It really is. We have the 9 of Wands. So again, there's been a lot of activity down there, a lot of it that didn't make the mainstream news, but it's time for us to be thinking about it and maybe learning about it. And yeah, the Fool, okay? Showing stepping out in a new path, a new direction, doing it with faith, and just kind of the start of a new journey. So Antarctica is going to be integral to some of the changes that are happening on this plane of existence. And there's more to be found out about it, definitely more. Let's recap. In the news today, Iran has declared a rather bizarre ownership of Antarctica, and they want to do a military base down there and scientific research down there. When I did a little reading for my compilation, I discovered actually they made that announcement last fall. So that got my little anon brain wondering, well, why do they want us to know about it now instead of last fall? Why is it just now getting into the mainstream news? Several outlets are covering it today. So it's by no means just the few I cited in my compilation. So we asked the universe, what's going on down there? Why is this being announced now? What insights and information do we need to have about Antarctica or the situation involving the fact that Iran wants to do a base down there? And also interesting is one of the places I was trying to direct you to in my compilation, Facebook is blocking. It still shows up. So if you want to stop the screen and look at it, it was it would take you to a 42-minute subtitled Russian film about Operation, I think it was called High Jump. So you might want to take a look at that or do a little searching for that, because apparently it's something they don't want us to know about. So that, of course, makes me want to know about it. How about you? Okay, the question was indicated by the 3 of Wands, which is looking out in a new territory, new path. So there's some newness going on down there in Antarctica that is one of the reasons that the collective consciousness is being asked to kind of have Antarctica in our thoughts. And the Iran announcement is only a vehicle for that end goal of having us be aware that there is more going on down there, that there has been more, that there can be more going on down there. And very reassuring cards. Recent past, we had the 10 of Cups, a card of multi-generation celebration and nothing unhappy about it, just total joy. Okay, so something really great has happened that's positive down there. Okay, the current situation though, we've got the kind of the turning point card here, with this cups showing that there's still something missing. There's some information definitely missing, but what element of our life don't we have information missing because we've been so restricted in what we're allowed to know, contemplate, and add to our store of knowledge. But there's something going on down there that it's almost complete, the gathering, but there's a little more going on. Again, reassuring us that no matter what the stated intention of Iran is, the end goal of this, of Antarctica, of what we're going to learn about it, is the fact that it has gone from a place where it's not, and I'm not talking about the geography, the weather there, where it's unsafe or there's conflict. We've moved into a place of calmer waters where Antarctica is involved. So we know that there's been some conflicts going down there. There's been some activity going down there. It has resolved in a positive fashion that we can celebrate. The white hats have been on it. Absolutely. Mr. T could tell us more if he was willing to. Okay, and part of that is we're just moving into a new place, a new path for Antarctica. The Ten of Wands says that something is concluding down there. There's change that's happening that is joyful, that we can celebrate and be happy about. And ultimately, yeah, we're going to be looking at Antarctica in a new way. And even with the restricted disclosures of information that we are still suffering with, there's going to be more that we're knowing. So I wouldn't worry too much about what Iran supposedly is claiming and saying. They've been saying that for months, but they just now made the news. And we'll have to watch with interest and maybe a little bit of humor as they go from trying to navigate systems from 100 degrees positive Fahrenheit to 50 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. That would be kind of interesting to see how they adapt and do with that. Whatever happens with them in regards to Antarctica is going to happen slowly, and it's not really too relevant to what's going on in our world. There's been some change down there, according to the cards. It's very beneficial to humanity. And that is why the collective consciousness is being asked to have Antarctica in their thoughts. And possibly, if you're one who's still kind of in the starting stages of waking up, and you felt like you had enough to deal with learning the political stuff or the underground stuff or what have you, is kind of embracing some of the information that hasn't been totally obscured that's available about what's going on down in Antarctica and what things have happened down there that they've kind of kept away from the mainstream. So yeah, check into Admiral Byrd and check some other sources out and learn a little more. It's an interesting place, whether it's circular or continental. And I do definitely believe that there are some paths and gateways there that aren't nefarious, that do need to be protected, that are beneficial for humanity when we're ready to use them in the right way and see how much more there is to our beautiful world, because it is a beautiful world. And we are blessed to be here at this time in this place and being part of all the changes going on. So until next time, that's it for this video. I thank you so much for your time and attention. I had mentioned trying to do a third video, which isn't political, and I don't think I'm going to be able to lose my voice here. So 2 for today is it. And then I'll try to get that third one out, but my daughter's on call, so that was why I was trying to do them now. But I'll try to get that third one out into you before the weekend's over for sure. Okay, and it was just a fun one. We're going to explore a picture that was on the internet today. So that one's not time sensitive, but I thought, hey, let's talk about Iran and Antarctica because that is today. And then it turned out it really wasn't. It's they wanting us to focus on it today, but it's actually been announced and out there for months. So figuring out this world and who and why are dribbling out information at the rate they do and the pace they do and for the reasons they do is beyond me. I just want the information available, and I don't want to be spoon-fed or treated like a toddler. I don't know about you. So until next time, next video, I wish you love and light and everything bright. Bye.